What's good, YouTube world? It's Jay Coffee Talk, back with another one. How's everyone doing out there? Thanks for tuning into the channel, guys. And today, in the wake of the passing of DMX, one of the best ever, we gotta keep praising X and putting him up where he belongs with the GOATs. Shout out to Dice TV, who put it bluntly, plain and simple, when I had him on the channel. Make sure to tune in for the live stream, guys. A lot of great discussions go down on there. But Dice, said immediately, X needs to be put with Pac and Big and all the GOATs, right away, no question. And he was definitely right. So once again, shout out to Dice TV. But peep it, I wanted to get into a little DMX mythology, right? And you're gonna be like, mythology, what's going on? Well, peep it, right? Sometimes myths, I guess, urban legends, rumors, whatever you want to call them, get put out there and circulate around like crazy, like wildfire. You know what I mean? Like, I know back in the day, certain things that me and my friends in New York might have talked about, certain artists and rappers, stories, things we heard, like them same conversations were going down all the way in Nebraska. You know what I mean? Ain't it wild how certain things, when you talk to someone, it's like, man, we were all like, certain things circulated around the whole country. But peep it, this myth that we're going to break down has to do with DMX's, lead off single off the second album, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. We're talking about Slippin.
Oh, this is my final question, I swear. On Slippin, right? Why did they bleep out what you said you was on?
Because whoever song it was the sample wouldn't allow any curses.
Wow.
So they had to bleep all the curses out. Like there's a lot of that I was saying that they didn't get a chance, because they said, no curses. They had a conversation. It was like, nah, you don't want any curses at all. So
no drug references, no
nothing, none of that.
Got you.
Yeah. I think I slid a in here though. I slid something. Something I said, I said it so fast, like, you didn't catch that one, motherfucker.
All right, man. So you heard what X told Charlamagne there. Charlamagne was like, I gotta hit you with one more question when he was on the Breakfast Club. And you heard him, like, what was the deal with Slippin'? Why did they edit everything you said? Certain things that weren't even necessarily cuss words. And why I'm saying this falls into mythology, hit the comments, guys. Let me know if you heard the same thing that was circulating around back in the day. Because everyone I've ever discussed this with when we're talking hip hop has always said the same thing. X, that song was dedicated to his grandmother. So in honor of his grandmother, DMX wanted to keep the song clean. X never pulled no punches with the lyrics, never censored himself, but that was always the word. Like, he dedicated to grandma, and he wanted to honor her, and more or less, like, grandma wouldn't appreciated all the cuss words. Now, like I said, guys, comment and let me know if that's what you guys heard, because like I said, I believe this falls into that mythology, urban legend category where that circulated around everywhere, right? Because back in the day, y'all know how it was back in that era, late 90s, before an album would come out, artists would drop singles. Sometimes 2 singles would come before the actual album was released. And, we would hear it on MTV, BET, with the video, but we would also hear it on the radio, and then people would go out and cop the single. I always like to get singles as well because there was always a lot of great B-sides, alternate, like, remix versions of songs. Sometimes you get a dope acapella that sounded cool. I remember the Busta Rhymes Dangerous single had the acapella version that was like crazy the way they mixed it. You're probably like, how hard can you mix an acapella? Believe me, they went off on this Busta Rhymes acapella. And Diddy, one of Diddy's singles, he had a remix version of Can't Nobody Hold Me Down. He had the Been Around the World remix on one of the singles. Like, singles, were dope for that reason, but most people ran out and got them because the album wasn't out yet. And on the DMX single, it was like, whoa, this is edited on here. And then we also found that on the album version, the song was edited as well. And, whenever anyone discussed this, which, like I said, that was a big thing back then. Like, whoa, what's going on with this? That was what everyone said. So hit the comments, guys. Let me know if you heard that as well. If you would indeed say that was a urban legend mythology that circulated around. Now, when we're talking about samples, though, as you heard what X said, the guy that we sampled it from said he did not want any cussing on the record at all. That's what we had to do to clear the song. The artist's name is Grover Washington Jr. and the song is called Moonstreams, released in 1975 from his album Feel So Good. That's wild too. You guys remember Mace had a song Feel So Good, lead off single off the Harlem World album. But if you want to clear a sample, and that's the stipulations that the artist states, you got to do that, because if obviously we know from other artists who learned the hard way, like Vanilla Ice, which I don't think anyone really cares about that, sampling Queen, and then it went bad for him. He still tried to argue. Remember, he was like, it's different. Dun, 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 tss. He said there's that one tss, it makes it different or something like that. But people, when I think of sampling gone wrong, I want to share this with you guys real quick. I know you guys all remember Lord Tariq and Peter Gunz, 1997-98. They dropped Deja Vu, Uptown Baby, which went crazy. Nowadays, we would call it viral, but it was a smash hit. Everyone loved this song. And when we're talking about how I was just saying singles being out before the albums, this single was out way before the album. I remember I had the single. The B-side was a song called, I think it was called like Marmalade or something like that. It was hard. But anyways, if you guys, aren't already privy to the story where things went really bad for Lord Tariq and Peter Gunz because they didn't clear the sample, it's a damn shame. Steely Dan, which is a very celebrated rock group, and there's a lot of songs sampled from Steely Dan, pretty much claimed everything from the song. Like when it got worked out in court, they owned it all. They own all the revenue, everything that came from the song. They're even listed as the songwriters. Like if you tune in, like if you look in the credits, the dudes from Steely Dan wrote the bars and even everything. Everything is attributed to them, and it cracked me up because there was a clip of Peter Gunz talking about like, hey, we lost everything, but it cracks me up. Like or it's wild to see that they're on as writing some of the lyrics that we said on that song.
Got these deals on the table, and now it's time to go clear the sample. So when we go to clear the sample, they just want all the publishing and $115,000 in cash. So we had to give them all the publishing and pay them $115,000 in cash, which if you got close to $1 million, you thinking that's nothing, and they can have the publishing too, because we'll just make another hit, and that'll be our money, and that just never happened. They would not even give us writing credit. So when you look at the publishing information and all the information on the record or the CD, it's written by Donald Fagen and Walter Becker. Two old white men. They not from the streets, they not from the hood, they not from the Bronx, they not from Brooklyn, Queens, and none of the boroughs. But it was written by them. So Donald Fagen wrote, I'm quick to slide off and slide his dick up in your wife.
But ain't that a damn shame? What a hit that song was, and they made nothing off it. Now, it did help them get their faces out there, and they toured off of it and everything like that. But all in all, they couldn't really follow up the success of that single, and, it is what it is. But I don't know. Hit the comments with your thoughts on that. But anyways, guys, once again, let me know if you already knew about that mythology, the correct, the story behind the Slippin, why it was edited, and also tap in with some other stories that always circulated, like mythology or rumors that seem to be, discussed by everyone. Like there was a lot of crazy ones about Little Kim, Marilyn Manson. Sometimes you would hear slightly different variations of the rumors in mythology, but I don't know, I just thought this was an interesting topic to speak on. Once again, rest in peace, DMX. We got to pump the content out, put X where he belongs, keep his name alive, and discuss all his great work. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to sub to the channel if you're new over here, guys. Hit that subscribe button, the notification bell. We drop content every day. We talk music, news, sports, current events, life, and much more. And I'm out of here, y'all. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.